twice. Whoopi's found another reason to avoid air travel, and this one may even crack the most seasoned flyer. And imagine if everyone was as excited as this girl is about American politics. Music megastar Gloria Estefan reveals how she's getting Broadway audiences on their feet, and which hot young star she wants to play her.
Ta-da! Oh, sorry.
We get candid with star and style trendsetter Nicole Richie, with your hosts, Whoopi Goldberg, Nicole Wallace, Rosie Perez, and Rosie O'Donnell. It all starts now on The View.
Because you know I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass.
Welcome to The View, y'all. Well, before we start, you know, everybody looks really nice today.
As do you.
These pants are the loudest pants I think I've ever owned, but I love them, and this is why I love eBay, child, because you can find anything. You can find anything on eBay, but we're going to tell you all about that a little bit later. But how about this? Because it continues to be the hottest topic everywhere. A second healthcare worker at the Texas hospital where Thomas Eric Duncan died has tested positive for Ebola. Now, the nurses say there were no safety protocols in place at the hospital. And the World Health Organization just warned that if it isn't contained within the next 2 months, that Ebola could infect 10,000 people around the world a week. So these statistics, they're harsh and crazy. Do we really need to hear them? Do we need to know exactly what's happening all the time? Do you want to know?
I want to know, and I think that it would have been better if we had a Surgeon General to tell us so. And
what do you mean, Rosie?
We do not have a Surgeon General, Miss Whoopi.
What?
What? Because people are playing politics, and they did not confirm the nominee for Surgeon General. And it's a very scary moment in the United States, and we need someone to look to for these questions and answers.
Right. Maybe Dick Besser. Hey, I hate to lose him here, but maybe he could, because he seems to have his finger on a lot of these pulses. Or maybe Nancy. What do you think?
We were pretty hard on our friend Dr. Nancy Snyderman yesterday.
Rightfully so, I think.
Yeah, and you know, I think that we made the point that one of the things we're missing out on is that now that we have a second healthcare worker at this hospital who was infected, I think that there's a realization, not just in Dallas, but all over the place, that if you go to a hospital, if your kid has to go to the emergency room, and you're in a hospital where they've treated someone with Ebola, no one is safe. I mean, they couldn't even keep their nurses safe. And I think the point we made yesterday was a fair one, that I think we're missing, and I think certainly the viewers of NBC are missing having Dr. Nancy able to tell them what's going on because she's in quarantine. So I think that everyone has to be careful, and if you're going to give the message to the public that there's an official that did something right. Let me talk about him. The mayor of Dallas this morning at 0:30 was at the house of the second healthcare worker, the second nurse, spreading this message of common information to her neighbors in the apartment complex where she lived. That, to me, is what our officials should be doing. They should be giving us information, they should be telling us the truth, and they shouldn't try to sugarcoat something that's really scary.
Yeah, and it's really scary to the nurses. I mean, you know, the bottom line is the nurses are on the front line always. You know, when you're sick and you go to the hospital, the nurses are there. You see your doctor once a day if you're lucky, but it's the nurses who are the real heroes. And so they didn't follow the protocol. Well, there is no Ebola protocol in America because there's never been Ebola in America. So, you know, you can't lay it at the nurses' feet either. And then they told them the duct tape, like some of the nurses were saying there's parts of our skin that is exposed, and because nobody knew what to do, they said, oh, duct tape it. So they did that, but the fact is that that's not the right protocol either.
Well, you know, somebody better get it together. I'm just saying, this is too much. It's too much, and you know, there's another conversation which people are having, saying, you know, what you should be afraid of is the flu. The flu is the thing that you should be concerned with because that's killing a lot more people and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, True, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's this the virus with the kids.
Right.
There's a lot out there. So people just have to pay attention. And if you don't have any money, if you're poor, you need to get to the clinics. You need to get to somebody to tell somebody what's going on, because we're all in this together. That's how I'm looking at it. And we got to look out for each other. So we can do this. But how about this? Because this might be the freakiest thing I've heard all week. Y'all use Uber? Anybody here use Uber? Y'all use it? You guys use Uber?
No.
I do.
Okay, I don't either. But instead of calling a taxi, most people, will call Uber. But a Los Angeles woman says her Uber driver took her on a 2-hour hell ride with a detour to an abandoned parking lot, and that he only took her home after she screamed her head off. Now, the woman contacted Uber the next day and received an automated reply apologizing for the inefficient route. Uber also points out that their drivers are not Uber employees, but independent contractors.
That's comforting, isn't it?
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Yeah. You know, the first time I had got Uber, my friend was like, don't pay the extra money for the Uber Black, get the Uber X. And I said, oh, okay.
That's what I have. That's the cheap Uber.
That's the cheap one. And I said, is it safe? They said, absolutely. Here comes a guy wearing jeans and a messed up T-shirt in a Honda Civic.
You'd rather take a taxi.
I was like, for real? And I was coming out of a hotel in Beverly Hills, and I looked at the bellhop. I go, should I get in the car? You know, I was terrified. And everyone's like, no, it's completely safe. It's completely safe. And I said, how do I know that if they are not regulated?
Yeah, no.
You know, how do I know?
My wife said no from the beginning.
Yeah.
When I said to her, there's this new thing, she's like, what, are you nuts?
Yeah.
You don't know that guy. You're not having him know where our address is. Who is that person? Are you crazy? She deleted it from my phone.
Yeah,
You know,
it's an
I've
app on
used
your
it.
phone.
Yeah.
Uber is saying that safety is their first priority, that they're going to investigate this. But I think there's a lack of awareness on their part about how much trust their customer base is putting into them. And once you lose the trust, that's it.
Well, I'm sorry. If you're not doing the due diligence, I'm not giving you my money.
Right.
Because if I'm getting in a car, I want to know that you know who these people are.
Right.
I want to know that you know what their backgrounds are. I want to know that you did your job. Not just, hey, Bucky, come here, make $5. You know, so it's just
and the worst scenario for them, I mean, I know this doesn't apply to everyone, but if you live in New York City and you start to trust the cab driver more than the Uber driver, I'm sorry, Uber's out of business here.
And you
Which
know what?
I do trust the kid.
Yeah, a lot of people
Well, you know what? As a person of color, you know, I think that a lot of the taxi drivers, they pay a lot of money to get that medallion.
Right.
But you know what, taxi drivers, if you want to put Uber out of business, start passing by people of color and pick us up.
Exactly.
That's the reason why I call Uber.
Well, and the other thing is, there's a new thing in the city, here at least, and I don't know if it's going to happen in other places, where they have made the speed limit a little less, so that you don't have to be afraid that when you're driving, some cab is going to go,
Right.
You know, because that's the other thing. I don't want to be in the back of the cab with wet pants. I just don't want to be back there because you scared the pee out of me. I'm sorry. You know what? Speaking of pee, we have to take a break. We'll be right back with more.
You haven't started Christmas shopping yet? Find out why you may already be too late. Gloria Estefan has a special surprise for Rosie O that she's gonna absolutely hate.
Hey, welcome back. You know, we were talking about yesterday about how the Catholic Church seems to be evolving when it comes to gay community and divorce. And yesterday you wanted to clear something up. My darling Rosie Perez, please tell the people.
Yes, I received a lot of responses about my statements regarding the Catholic Church stance on divorcees and Holy Communion. And some of them, I might say, were not very Christian-like, by the way. But I forgive you, and I hope you forgive my faux pas, too. So, to clarify, the Church's position is, while divorced Catholics continue as full members of the Church, they may receive communion only under one of the two conditions. They do not remarry, or if they wish to remarry, they first receive a Catholic annulment, which frees them to marry again. So once again, my apologies, and once again, I forgive you as well.
All right. There you go.
There you go. And if you remember that, good on you. The New York governor, Andrew Cuomo, announced he'll be visiting Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic before next month's elections. Now, his opponent, Rob Astorino, has slammed this as pandering to the Hispanic community. How is that pandering, Rosie Perez? Do you think that's pandering?
Well, first of all, who is he to speak for the Hispanic community? That's one. Two, I would just say that I think that it's smart politics for you to understand your constituents, your voters, and to get to know them a lot better. There's a lot of families here, Dominicans and Puerto Ricans, that travel back and forth to the island constantly. And to make that connection, I think, is wonderful, and it also is smart. So
let me say something, too, though, about the Hispanic vote. Everybody panders for the Hispanic vote because it's so important. And in my party, the Republican side, we are on a downward spiral here. And in 2004, George W. Bush got 44% of the Hispanic vote. He didn't pander, but he talked to them. And I would think that this is in the eye of the beholder, right? And if voters feel pandered to, they have a way to express that sentiment by not voting for them. So I think every politician has an obligation to go speak to every element of their base and also to reach out. And I wish that the Republican was going there, too.
Yeah. So I don't agree with it.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a crappy word, pandering, but that's just me.
Because it's a derogatory way to say reaching out.
Say, you know, you shouldn't be doing that. But the fact of the matter is, we were talking about this earlier. Puerto Rico is pretty much part of the United States.
Well, yes, it's a commonwealth of the United States.
And so, you know, we have lots of Puerto Rican folks all over the country. Why wouldn't you want to find out stuff at the home? I don't get it, but that's just me again, because I'm weird. Now, for those keeping count, here is the 772nd reason I will not fly. Okay? A Dallas-bound American Airlines flight had to turn back to San Francisco after the cabin walls began to crack while they were in the air.
Out of a movie.
Okay? And the pilot, he wanted to keep going at first. It's like, turn this plane around. What's wrong with you? Turn this plane around. Are you crazy? The wall is coming. Who doesn't think this is a bad thing?
You know what? I would pay top dollar just to be on a flight with you. Just to see you freak out.
You actually don't want to be on a plane with me because what happens is no, I disappear into this thing because I don't want anybody to see how angry I'm getting.
Is it an IMAX? Like, what does it look like?
It looks like this. And this is why they've given me really great drugs so that I can go to sleep.
Do they work?
Yes, they do work.
Yeah. She's out.
I'm out, because it's bad.
They should color on you.
You could color on me, but nobody would see it. I mean, so there are 70 shopping days left of Christmas. And for some reason, some people are freaking out. Now, why are they freaking out? I'm going to ask them why.
I'm just saying that if you are a family like me that gets matching Christmas pajamas, fair warning, it is almost Halloween. That means you better get your stuff now. Because I went last night and a lot of my matching pajamas, first choices
You're too late, honey.
I know.
You got to do it in August.
I've been kind of busy. I've had this show and all those children.
Yeah, I know. I get kind of busy, too.
Yeah.
But you got to do your stuff in August. You've got to do. But if there's stuff you want, yeah. Because in August,
let
me tell you. Where does what go?
All the stuff.
Well, you get a closet.
People like you buy
I buy what I need in August because I know there are things everybody wants.
You mess it up for the rest of us.
No.
Because normal people.
No. I don't mess it up.
Yeah.
Y'all are too slow.
No.
Y'all are too slow. Because now you have to realize I learned this because I would try to buy things in August and September. And what's happening, if you notice, things are getting earlier. Macy's now is going to be open at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving night. Not,
midnight.
You now have to be there at 6 to get the stuff you want. So my suggestion is during the summer, when you're not thinking about, when no one else is thinking about stuff, think about the pajamas and order them then. And you can say, they'll say, when do you want them delivered? Tell them when you want it delivered.
But I would never remember that I had done that.
But that's the great thing.
Could they just show up?
Because they show up and you go, oh my God, I would have never.
To join the conversation and go behind the scenes before, during, and after the show. Find us at The View TV.
That's why he made me stop. Hey, welcome back. You know, a 12-year-old girl did not find what she was looking for in the latest Dick's Sporting Goods catalog, so she wrote him a letter. Reading in part, I've received your base basketball catalog 2014 in the mail. There are no girls in the catalog. Oh, wait, sorry. There is a girl in the catalog. On page 6, she's sitting in the stands. She continued to berate them about the omission and signed it McKenna Peterson, the fabulous basketball player.
Love her.
I thought that was fantastic.
Yeah, did they have a reply?
Yeah, they did. So they wrote back and complete mea culpa, the right way to apologize. They said, we messed up, and in next year's you are right, you are 100% right, and in next year's catalog, there will be girls playing basketball because women make up 40% of the people who play sports in this country.
That's correct, but only 4% of the media coverage is allocated to female sports. And that needs to change because women are the largest percentage of buying market in sports today. And also, I just want to say that Dick's, I'm glad.
Dick's catalog.
Dick's catalog. Thank you. Thank you for waking up and smelling the coffee because others understand this. The NFL, they have a ladies shop. The International Boxing Hall of Fame have a ladies apparel. Even the UFC has ladies apparel. Yes, they do.
Yes, I have some Uriah Faber shirts.
Yes, Dana White knows his audience, and that's why he's very successful, I might add. So good for you, young lady, and keep it going.
That's right.
Exactly.
That's right. And now, Rosie, you just gave your daughter a very unique reward. Explain, please.
My daughter is 17, and she'll be 18 in a few months, and she was doing very well at school, and so the gift that I promised her if she did really well and finished the school was a nose ring. And it came... Now, you see, a few of my friends had that response as well. But, you know, considering the other things she asked for, like, first, can I get a tattoo? I'm like, no, it's illegal. Can I get a car? No, you cannot. So there she is. I took her to the mall. And it didn't hurt her, which is scared. That's not the ring, that's the piercing.
Right.
And it's a little tiny dot right there. But she was very happy, and the guy who had gauges all over and was pierced, and you know, he looked at me and he goes, you are one cool mom. And I'm like,
I totally agree.
Not according to friends of mine, but...
No, I agree. I think Mother of the Year, you took her somewhere safe, you took her somewhere clean. She's 17, almost 18. She's going to be making these decisions on her own. I think it says a lot about your relationship with her that she went with you.
Yeah. And I thought,
awesome.
you know, a lot of my friends are like, what are you, crazy? It's not going to look good. What are people going to say? I'm like,
you know what?
Yeah.
Kids, this is the thing about kids.
Right.
They want to do the things that excite them. Some of them you don't want them to do. You'd rather they didn't. But some, I mean, I think back to the skirts I wore as a kid. Now, my mother didn't like the mini skirt. She would rather I had had a little more material on.
Yeah.
But she said, basically, you're going to have to make this decision on your own.
Right.
And I stopped wearing them because they were cold. I got cold.
You're cold.
You know, it's like my butt was constantly, and I just thought, oh, I want a little more, I want more material. I want this. So sometimes it's a better thing if you say, yeah, let's go ahead and do it, because sometimes they get there and get the tattoo and you see them like this.
Yeah, I know. Right.
And I said, what is it? Does it hurt? Oh, do you want to continue? No. I said, okay, well, when you can make the decision, make the decision. Now she's got 400 or 500 tattoos, but still,
that's
like
her
her
thing.
mother.
And then I have tattoos as well. And so she leaned over like we were walking out of the mall on the way home, and she grabbed my hand.
Yeah.
And I looked over at her. It was one of the first times she's done that as a teen.
Yeah.
And she said, thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
And I said, you earned it, kid. Right?
You know?
I don't know.
You know, voter turnout would be so much better if people were as excited about politics as 10-year-old Macy Friday. She met Hillary Clinton in Denver this week. And you would think this was a photo op with One Direction, but no.
That's awesome.
She's just really excited, you know?
Music is bringing her inspiring rags to riches story to Broadway in the new musical On Your Feet. Please welcome Miss Gloria Estefan.
Great, I'm happy to be here.
Thank you for coming.
I lost count how many times I've been on this show, and it's always fun. Emilio sends his love. He couldn't be here this time, but he sends his love to all of you and to all of you, of course.
And how's he doing? Has he come up with any new Emilio-isms lately?
He actually has a couple of them. Unbeknownst to Whoopi, she's married to Donnie Wahlberg because you're Whoopi Wahlberg. And then the other day, he's showing some guy these shoes, these new shoes he loves. He goes, "Look, Tom Cruise." And we're going like, "Tom Cruise gave you those shoes?" "No, the designer, Tom Cruise." You go, "Tom Ford, you mean?" My hubby is very absent-minded. He will spew whatever first pops into his brain.
And the nicest guy in the world.
Oh, adorable.
You know, I have to say that, you know, we met and I got so emotional meeting you.
Oh,
you
gosh.
are a living icon, and I love everything that you have contributed to the world. And I just want people to understand why you are so perfect for National Hispanic Heritage Month.
Well, yeah.
You came to
I'm
these...
Hispanic.
Yes, that.
I'm perfect for
Yes,
that.
yes, but also you came to this country over 50 years ago.
Did we have to throw in that little...
My apologies.
She was
When I was
minus 13.
a baby,
Yes, when she was
minus.
She was a fetus. Yes. But you came from Cuba. You were fleeing Castro, and you came when he
Personally.
came to. Yes, yes. And you didn't speak a word of English.
I didn't.
And now you are selling over 100 million
Yay.
copies of records.
No, we did. No more records now, but...
You know, I'm just saying that,
Thank
you know, you are the American dream.
You're so sweet. We have lived it, I have to say. And this play that we're working on is about, it's a love story. It's a love story between Emilio and myself. It's a love story for music, and it's a love story for this country who really gave us so many opportunities, and we were able to fulfill our dreams. Nobody ever, a lot of people said no, but the country didn't. The country said, yes,
And the presidents never say no. I think you have known or been tapped to do things by every president. I went back to George H.W. Bush, who sent you to the UN. I know you sang at George W. Bush's inauguration.
We actually sang for President Reagan in Miami.
So
way
go
back.
through this relationship you've had with every American president. You just hosted a dinner for President Obama. It's not partisan.
We're
it's
not.
principle.
Emilio and I are not completely non-affiliated. People keep...
That's why everybody loves you. But can you talk about this relationship you've had with all these presidents? I can't think of anybody else who has that.
You know what? I think that mainly is because we don't ever ask for anything back in return. Yeah. We really, truly are honored every time that we are invited to the White House, because it is the center of our nation. This is a place that is really an important place, and regardless of what president may be in there, Emilio has produced countless shows for them. I've sung for probably six
presidents.
The only
I
one
counted.
we didn't meet was Jimmy Carter. But every other president we've performed or done something for, and I think it's a big honor to have a president of the country in our home. You know,
A president.
Right.
Every president.
Yeah.
Every president.
Not in our home, but
Baby,
yes.
I got to ask you, because the casting process, you're casting the show.
Yes.
All these people are coming to be you.
I know.
Is it odd
weird?
or is it fun? Do you? I mean,
It's
that's a lot of folks want to be you, babe.
It must have been daunting when I was
She's
sitting
really
there
good.
trying
What
to be
about
me.
her?
Right.
You know,
Oh, that is you.
yeah, it is. That's me. That's me. I won't be playing me. I'm too old to play me, but well.
But what about Emily playing you?
Well, listen, she said that would be great, but it'd be too weird to have to kiss her own father.
Oh, I agree. I'm with her on that.
That's
No,
weird.
is Ariana Grande one of the...
Let me tell you what happened.
Grande, sorry.
Ariana Grande. Funny enough, I saw Ariana Grande on a cruise ship when she was 8 years old singing karaoke, the Titanic song. And I had to go up to her mother and her and say what an amazing voice she had. So, of course, she's amazing chops. She's at the top right now, peak of her pop career. She needs to focus on that. She's done Broadway before.
Right.
She's a wonderful artist, and I think she's fantastic. But we're really looking for somebody that can kind of be more of a blank slate in that respect, because when you come from such a huge career, it's harder to convince people that you're somebody else. You know,
right, right.
But she's wonderful.
Now, Emily is now, at college, and she recently sang, did she not?
She did, you know, and she said she wanted something of mine, and she comes out and she goes, Mom, do you think I could wear this top? I go, of course you can wear that top. She goes, I want to have you with me. That was the original top.
I know I want to get to this because in honor of National Hispanic Heritage Month, you brought for us one of your Rosie O'Donnell's favorite desserts.
I brought Rosie's favorite dessert.
Can we bring it out? Can we bring it out? Come on, bring it out.
This is not a dessert.
By the way, hold on. Not only, yes. Flan. By the way, hotly contested.
Yes.
Because every country, you know, Latin country, Spain claims flan, Cuba claims flan, Puerto Rico. We all have our own take on it.
Yeah.
I happen to think the Cuban flan is the best flan.
Yes.
Cuban flan,
Well,
right?
that's up for debate.
Rosie
But yes.
loves flan.
Oh, dear Lord.
Listen, Gloria, I'm so glad that you're here. Thank you for coming.
Thank you
for fun. Our thanks to Gloria
Come
Stefan
on, Rosie.
today.
You know
the
you
last
like it.
day of Hispanic Heritage Month. And I want to thank everybody for helping me celebrate. ABC, my co-hosts, and of course you, the viewers. But I want you to let you know that this will not be the end of celebrating Hispanics and all the heritage of Americans. We will be right back.
Nicole Richie's showing you her family photo flashback.
That was so... Hi, guys. Thank you so much for being here. That was so funny. Is this so fun, the show?
It's so fun. I mean, really, the show. So, the show is based off of my Twitter feed and how I use
work?
Twitter.
I'm sort of new to Twitter, like
Well,
because
I guess it's how you use it. How I use Twitter personally is I just like to make fun of myself for not always being caught up on the slices of life, you know? I mean, the world is evolving and growing so fast, and I'm just not always caught up.
Yeah. Well, you're a mother, and you have 2 little kids.
Exactly,
it's impossible, right?
Yes. And so, you know, I love people to give me a breakdown. Like, okay, give me the breakdown. What does that mean? And so, you know, like, is it good for you? Is it bad for you? Yeah, like, I just like people to give me, you know, just like the 5-minute version of. Yeah. And the show lives on the web, and it lives on television also on VH1. And right now the web series is out. And you know, it's more interview focused. That's why I was finding out so much about my favorite guy, Ryan Seacrest. And I went in and I co-hosted his show with him, and you know, it's fun because I get to go and I get to explore and discover and learn and have fun while doing it.
And you're totally yourself. That doesn't seem like
yeah. You know what? I have a sense of humor. You know. First of all, if you're in this industry, you have to have a sense of humor,
yes.
You know? And so the show is really just about me learning and exploring and having fun and laughing at myself while doing it.
That's great.
What are you doing this Halloween? I know you did the Addams Family last year.
Yes.
What are you doing this year?
Well,
It's awesome.
my husband will be on tour in Australia, so it'll be it'll be the kids and I. But I always wait until the last minute because they change their mind so much, and then you're freaking out going back to.
What
the
should
store
I be? I feel a lot of pressure this year because you know I'm on TV for the first time. Do you have any good ideas?
Oh, you're gonna do like a daytime Halloween.
Yeah.
Ooh.
She has some ideas. Weren't we thinking about the Addams Family?
We were thinking about the Addams
This is
Family.
where I like to go either late 80s, early 90s. You know, last year I was the Addams Family with my kids, and then I was Danny DeVito, and I made my friend who's 6'3" be Arnold Schwarzenegger, and we were twins.
I love that.
You know?
Okay.
So you got.
I love that. We could do that.
Yeah, you got time. No?
Okay, now, and you're in People Magazine's issue, right, this week?
Yes.
And an awesome picture with your dad. I love that. I think we have
It's a
it.
great video that we found, and we wanted to just play it.
Can we?
For you. So can you...
Are you talking about downtown?
Downtown.
Okay, all right.
Especially if you've got somebody with a sloppy hand.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. A little nervous.
My wife also shaves her legs every day.
Oh, every day? She doesn't get bumps from that?
No, she never had a bump anywhere.
I'm off in the winter.
The whole winter?
The whole winter.
Sister friend. There we go. That's me.
I don't have the time. It's too cold.
Yeah, she sometimes touches my legs and says they're furry. I'm like, not to me, honey. Not to me.
Stubbly.
Exactly. Furry's better.
Furry's great.
Well, we were chatting about things that women like to be discreet about, like subjects that they want to talk about, but they don't always do it.
Until they get with their girlfriends.
And then
they
they
might
do.
talk about it.
Okay.
You got a topic that you like?
Marriage.
That's a good one.
Oh, I'm an expert. I've had 3. I'm on my third and final.
Third and final.
Third and final.
Good.
With the love of my life.
Right. I'm on number 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, see,
Yeah.
so you
Even-
might
yeah.
have some good advice.
Okay, well,
Are you
are you
first?
married? Or
No, I'm not married.
Okay.
So
Oh,
here's
okay.
the thing. So I've been in a relationship for 5 years, but the longer that we're together, even though nothing's bad, the more like
Do not marry
scared I am of marriage.
But let me ask you something. Do you feel like you are with the absolute right person, and this is like the person you're going to be with the rest of your life?
Yes, because I've made that commitment, and I'm going to follow through with that commitment, having learned the first time, right? Nobody goes into a marriage thinking it would ever end.
Right, exactly.
But, you know, it's work.
It is.
There's
It's
no
work.
2 ways around
And
it.
it's hard when you absolutely adore, love, feel totally committed to that person. If you're iffy, don't even take that plunge. I think it should be much harder to get married than it is to get divorced, because divorce is tough.
Women, on the whole, share their secrets with each other.
Right, absolutely. You got to have your best friend.
You do.
You got a secret? You got something they want to
That's
share
something
with us?
that you want to talk
Okay.
about?
I'm here with my 3 girlfriends. We all work together. And so we were talking about how we transitioned into retirement. Our children all grew up, brats, and left us. So
Right.
be prepared.
I know, it's not easy.
The only thing worse than your kids leaving are the kids who want to stay and do nothing, and
Yeah.
you can't. They're not motivated. They don't
Right.
want anything.
No,
they're like
thankfully-
still attached to you or
Right,
anything
I
else.
don't have that.
You're still married?
Yes, high school
And do you
sweethearts.
like him?
I do, at times.
You know how that goes. Yeah.
And is it different without the kids? Because now you have each other
Does it
only.
make you sad?
With him, no. My girl's
No,
gone.
the girls gone. The girls can't.
I understand.
Yeah, I can see. You're
It's a
sad.
hard one.
Oh, it's terrible.
It is.
Yeah.
For me, it was terrible. And I even went to therapy for it
Sure,
because
sure.
they were my life. And I was like,
Yeah.
who am I? What do I do?
You should teach, because you've got a gift of gab, and you've got, like, you think fast, and you've raised these great girls, and a lot of moms haven't done that,
Well, thank
you know, and it seems like as much as you threw yourself, now you've got to find all that energy and
have to
stuff that
find
you have,
something
and
for
go,
Tina to do.
yeah, and find something for you to do.
Brought to you by New Always Discreet, just for sensitive bladders. Perfect for your discreet moments.
I want to thank my buddy Mary Lou Henner. You can join us next week as we will continue our series on discreet discussions. Hey, everybody, there's a show on FX called The Bridge, and it's only in season 2, and you can binge watch it, and it's my favorite show on TV. And Frank Aponte wrote me a little letter and sent me a backpack from the show, so please watch it so it gets renewed. Take some time and enjoy the view. Bye.